And now that I've had some time to pack and think about what I'm going to take with me, there's a few extra things like, the cameras, some battery chargers, but not a whole lot of items. What I have, again, the sleeping bag, the clothing, and the computer case, so I can take that out, take that with me by itself, and leave the backpack somewhere safe. Again, you can take a closer look at my pack. Got it for free back in 2008. You get what you pay for. So it's missing that back support. So I have my computer placed in that area, touching the back, touching my back. So what I'm doing here, because you can tell the elevation goes up a little bit and then it goes down on my little mini circle here on my land here in rural Colorado. And the purpose of this, you can tell I'm already breathing, having actually my first cup of coffee in 3 days. It's always good to take a break and lower your cortisol intake or levels. Cortisol, stress hormone release. But there it is now in the percolator. So, not doing a grab and go kit, just clothing, sleeping bag, computer. Going to the belly of the beast, packing it lighter than normal, but it still is incredibly heavy. I mean, this is in excess of at least 50 pounds. So the idea here is just get used to walking, breaking in the new shoes, which are going to be easier to walk in. Looks like they have some support. A little bit better than wearing just rubber sandals, walking through the concrete jungle. This is a little bit more appropriate, and I figure additional clothing items, other things I can pick up at the Goodwill. And that would include a tripod for the camera. So I'm thinking about I'm probably gonna have to do a good 20 minutes of this just to really get a workout in. But yeah, my endurance isn't great, and feeling fatigued in the city with a backpack behind you isn't a great feeling. Okay, here we are there. Go ahead and let that cool down. Being fatigued in the city, being on a budget, not being able to afford taxis and sticking with mass transit, because of course once I get to San Diego, I got 2 trolleys to take to the suburbs. Because like I said, Greyhound doesn't take me exactly to where I'm going. It forces me to go to downtown Los Angeles. So, looking also at that situation, I don't want to be fatigued grabbing my backpack in downtown Los Angeles and walking through one of the worst skid rows in America. So I want to have my stamina, if you will. That means getting extra sleep. Had a shower earlier today at the recreation center. Hit the free weights for the first time in a while. Lately I've been just doing body weight, daily exercises, push-ups, body weight squats. More for endurance than power, but it would be great to find a gym, because of course I'm going from 8,000 feet. I'm going not a beeline, kind of a roundabout way, about 12 hours of Colorado road trip and I have ahead of me before I even get out of the state. But that is a big, for those of you who don't know, it's a rush. It's a natural rush, especially when you're somewhat athletic and healthy at the moment, when you go from 8,000 feet to 1,000 feet. So it's all a matter of almost timing it, along with eating a little bit more and preparing myself to do a lot of writing and reading on the train ride there. But yeah, you could say that I was underprepared the first 2 times that I was on Greyhound. I mean, I knew it would be like that, but I didn't know it would be that bad. Here's my overall thesis to the whole situation. If somebody's traveling through America, whether it be Greyhound or the city bus or something else, they could attract bad luck to them unconsciously. And I'm still, again, aiming to decode how we prevent certain archonic attacks. I will tell you this. if someone is showing pain, right, to others that are vampires, that like to hurt others, one of the things I read about Greyhound is you already have people that are lower income. There's a sense of looking down upon them from the staff. So already you deal with the conditions that one deals with when they're on Greyhound. Number two, they deal with the attitude from staff, lack of answers when their buses are delayed. And they're basically in a lobby for 4 hours. That's disgusting, with people that are basically sleeping on the ground. I got a picture of myself sleeping on the ground when I was delayed, leaving Kansas City, Missouri, and heading towards Portland, Oregon. That was like a miserable 6 to 8 hours sitting on the ground and already feeling dirty. So it almost becomes like a mental health crisis when you're in a situation like that, not to mention the claustrophobia. So, like I said in the previous video, being properly prepared with a book, a journal, some baby wipes, some earplugs, an MP3 player with intellectual things, not just, mainstream music. Think about, when you get on the plane, for example, and they got the headphones you can rent, and then you can listen to their crappy channels. What about listening to something provocative? Now, as far as my return, that's why I want to make sure this is light. But if I do end up picking up material things, I have a friend here, maybe I can mail her a box. And she's going to be checking my mail and watching my place while I'm gone. It's good to have that help. It's good to have people like that local that are on your side. I'll tell you, it's been one hell of a last couple of years. About 1.5 years that I've been here. And what a lot of people need to remember is that sometimes traveling isn't about having the best time, but learning something, growing as a result of the experience. So the idea for me to go to LA after being here for a couple of years is the idea of coming back here with greater appreciation for the absolute isolation that comes from relocating to this particular part of America. Again, on a physical level, most beautiful part of this continent, I would say, up there with Alaska. On a social level, on a local political level, it's something else. It doesn't exactly match up with the natural beauty. There's a lot of sign of the times issues that are going on. The other purpose, of course, is to have a positive experience with the grid in Southern California, where I've always kind of been, for whatever reason, hesitant to go to LA or deal with that energy. And it's probably because I'm a really sensitive individual. But see, when it comes to some of these areas that are really high energy, that can be a positive thing if you intend it to be a positive thing. Doesn't mean it's going to come easy, but I can see places like that cutting both ways. You can find some perhaps extremely conscious people in some of these environments, and also some extremely unconscious individuals. I'll tell you what, looking at the map of downtown LA and the downtown bus station, very overwhelming with regards to not hardly knowing anyone in Southern California and going there anyways. I do know a few people. So, like I said, what I'm doing now is getting some exercise so I'm better prepared to deal with long walks in the concrete jungle. I'll be back with more.